ANC, viva! Viva! Viva SACP, SACP, viva! Viva! Viva Sanko, 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 viva! Viva! Viva COSATU, COSATU, viva! Viva! Thank you very much, Comrade Chair. Let me take this opportunity to acknowledge the leadership of the province of COSATU, the Chair, Deputy, the Provincial Secretary and the Treasurer, acknowledge the Provincial Secretary of the ANC and the party who are always with you when you've got programs. I'm happy that today you were able to get Sanko when they pick Lego Day. But I've not heard Sanko saying they are supporting your action. They spoke very nice things, but they're not telling us that they are supporting our action. Let me also acknowledge the former chairperson, who's Honorable Esther. Thank you very much to continue to think where you're coming from. Bakona abanye abantu rabakheta rufetso bakheta, they forgot where they come from. So Comrade Esther, continue to do that. Don't wait for COSATU to invite you. You are one of us. If you hear about COSATU in an activity go Limpopo and it's open for the public, you go. They won't chase you away. If they chase you away, you must call me. Former Deputy President of COSATU, Comrade Kate, our gender structures and the young workers. Most importantly, Steward. I want to put a disclaimer from what the chairperson was saying. I could not finish the Congress of SATU, Comrade Peers of the ANC, because of flu. On Friday, I was down with flu. Saturday in the morning, I was expected to go to address the Steward Council of Eastern Cape. I went there. The flu, when I came back, it was worse. Saturday, I went to the Mkuku. The flu became better. Monday, I went to Northwest yesterday to address the Steward Council. The flu became worse. On my way to Limpopo, when I arrived in Limpopo, the flu was gone. So that's the reason why, Comrade, I love Limpopo. Without Limpopo, all allowed to move 40. All 40 again is none of our business. That's the first reason. The second reason, Comrade, I will not stop to come to Limpopo until you lead a march against ZZ2, which is exploiting workers 24 hours. I was here 2 weeks, 3 weeks back, Comrade Pierce. We met with the Department of Labor nationally. We are doing work, Comrade, in the ZZ2. You know that, Comrade, when you were singing Solidarity Forever, the union makes us strong. I was asking the treasurer, no lava abinang unity and solidarity makes us strong. Why union effing? The workers, Comrade, in the ZZ2, they are being exploited and oppressed. I don't know, Piers, whether the local of COSATU, that side is here. We want a march there. Peers of the ANC and the party. That man is owing workers over 365 million. because he's making workers to pay 566 rand every month for protective clothes. Thanks, thank you. And the law, Occupational Health and Safety Act, is very clear that workers are not supposed to pay for the PPE. It's the responsibility of the employer. Now, the Department of Labor has been playing hide and seek. You remember the peers of the ANC, remember the January 8th statement celebration here. We went there with Tulas, the former Minister of Labor. Tuki, myself, Tuki, and the former peers who's the DGS of COSATU were chased away there because they don't want those workers to join the union. The worst thing is that those workers are oppressed by our own comrades. Baba formulating something what is called Koro. When workers got problems, their problems goes to Koro. And that Koro is responsible, is accountable to the management. One thing that has made me to make that company or a farmer a project. An HR manager, she's a woman. One woman, she's pregnant. She was pregnant. She says, I can't carry that bucket of the, you know, before the kids, so she says, no, I can't carry this bag because I'm pregnant. Or more this comrade, those women, yeah, and she's a woman. Guess what? That poor woman was dismissed for being pregnant. We can't keep quiet on these things, comrade, as workers. We can't keep quiet. That's what is called International Decent Work Day. Comrade, let me take this opportunity. I had prepared to speak to you for 3 hours today, but because I've realized that the chair of the province spoke for more than 46 minutes just to do the opening. You know, his opening statement is what like he's opening the Congress. But we can't blame him, Pierre's party is preparing himself because he's going to the Congress next year. Comrade, we are convening this provincial software council all over the country, mainly to deal with the program and mobilization for the International Decent Work Day, the 7th of October. The peers of the ANC touched a little bit what the International Labour Organization clarifies or explain or characterize the 7th of October. The 7th of October, comrade, is characterized with the following: decent work, decent wages, decent work conditions of service. And decent work of condition of service, meaning that where you are working, you must be safe, you must be paid correctly, you must be able to have a rest. The president, deputy president of the ANC, those were delegates of the COSATU Congress. He came to the Congress, comrade peers of the ANC, and I had to also repeating it here. Says the government led by the African National Congress, not led by GNU, is going to make sure that workers in the public sector get, he says, nice salary. Then when he was going out, I followed him. He said, "Cheers, I saw you. I saw you." I said, "No, TP, what is nice salary? Nice salary." He says, "No, cheers, let's leave this thing, we'll talk about it." So I said, "No, you said nice salary. 3% is not a nice salary. Anything between 5 upwards is a nice salary. 5% increase is a nice salary. Or the inflation rate now is about 4.5%. You say inflation rate plus 3%. That's a nice salary, which will take us up to 8% or 7.5%. But 3% is 3% of what? So that's what the international decent work mean. It remove poverty, reduce unemployment, remove the inequalities. Then we can say we are celebrating the International Decent Work Day. So this year, comrade, we are facing with the serious challenges as workers. NUM is not here because they are in the Congress. I'm not sure whether they're here. But this union, comrade, in the entire country, they are facing Section 189 every day. Section 189. Section 189 talks about retrenchment. When the statement of intent agreed by the GNU, they said they are going to protect the rights of the workers. Is the retrenchment the rights of the workers? No. It's not. So as workers, comrade, as the biggest federation in this country, we have decided that this year we must be serious about ourselves. We must be serious about conditions of workers. At NETLEC, as we push for the amendment of Section 189 to make it difficult for the employers to retrench workers, employers and government, they are opposing. Employers says they want to put a clause that when you are dismissed, the dismissal must end at the workplace. Deputy Secretary of NEHAW. It must end there. You should not take it to CCMA. You should not take it to Labor Court. They want us to amend the act. We said you can go to the nearest cell. Where Eugene Reblanji is, you can go there. Government says they want to put a clause to be allowed to retrench public servant workers. We told this man called Mkalip, he's from this union. Mkalip is a former deputy president of SEPAO. You know what the peers of the party was saying? That people who are oppressing workers at government, these people who come from COSATU. People that are deployed in government, those who come from us, they are the worst enemy of the workers. There are very few of them, comrades, who still respect you. Very few. Abanye mawubabuza ukuthi ama-comrade nivumelane government kanjani ngelento ye-austerity measures. Uthi, I'm not deployed by COSATU, I'm deployed by the ANC. Now, we said to them over our dead body, that will never happen. Comrade, I think the peers of the ANC spoke about the unity of the workers. Unity of the workers in this country is very important. If NEHAW faces challenge next door, and next door it's a PAU, SAMU, COSATU, you don't give support, the employers are going to celebrate. They are trying these things. If we allow it to happen, it's going to come to all of you. They are retrenching 2,400 educators in Western Cape. Now we ask our own ally, the ANC, if you're serious about defending the rights of the workers, why are you not condemning what we see is happening in Western Cape? So we are on our own, comrades. We are on our own. The statement of intent says they are going to make sure that they protect the rights of workers. We don't see GNU protecting the rights of the workers. So here I'm talking to the shop steward, and I've addressed the PEC this morning, just for 5 minutes. I said to the PEC, and I'm going to say it here, hoping that those who are employers here, Comrade Esther, you close your eyes and your ears. She's an employer when she's in government. I agree, she's in government. It's a deployment. He's not an employer, he's in government. She's in the legislature. I don't know which position you have given her as a chairperson of the portfolio group, but the fact of the matter is in employment. Let me give an example. Comrade Pierce of the ANC. There's a company in Western Cape called the Sea Harvest. 11 workers drowned in the sea, 17 May. The company says they will not take any chance to go and look for those bodies because it's very expensive for them. I went to Cape Town. I called the portfolio committee of fisheries. The chairperson of the portfolio committee took a decision and say, we are going to instruct SAMSA, what military, to investigate these things. So the chairperson of the employer of the portfolio committee is an employer because he has a responsibility as a political deployees. If Comrade Esther, she's a chairperson of portfolio committee of finance, and you're facing a challenge with something, you have a right as a union to write a letter to her and say, we want your intervention. If you have a challenge with the MMC, you have a right to write a letter, not the MMC, the MEC, you have a right to write a letter to her as a chairperson of that portfolio committee. Because the MEC account to the portfolio committee. The minister account to the portfolio committee. So you can see why I'm saying she's an employer. But now here she's one of us. So that's why I can know. Actually, it's about this is what I wanted to say. What I said to the office bearers PEC this morning. Shop steward, workers are not wrong in front of the employer. Workers join the union for two reasons: improve the condition of service and defend them when they are wrong, or when they are charged. When they are charged. When a worker is charged in front of the employer as a shop steward, you go and defend that worker. It doesn't matter whether he has committed a misconduct or not. If you sit down with the worker and you realize or no, this comrade has varied this thing, we read. You don't know, la lebelela case la batla advice or mara mo be bra arna case here. Our case is too weak. In the legal term, but that we've got no prospect. Oh, you don't accompany a worker to the employer to be slaughtered. And then you come back and lie to a worker and say the case is in CCMA. Workers are clever today. If you say your case is at CCMA, you go to CCMA, what the case number? After go CCMA, case is thing more long. Then you begin to say this union is a sellout. Can it's only one person solely paid. Now, Steward, play your part. Do what you are expected to do. This time, comrade, we're in serious problem. We're in danger. We need united unions. We need a united federation. Let me join the queue of congratulating COSATU for having a successful Congress, uncontested Congress. The union of the Congress of COSATU was not contested. Number of people, enemies of the revolution, were thinking that there's going to be contestation. Workers disappointed them. You know, the way people who say, no, we want to see, they are going to contest so and so and so. But workers, when they arrive there, it's not going to happen. We have a responsibility as workers to defend this union, because this union belongs to us. Union does not belong to the leadership. It belongs to you as workers. These ones, they are elected to supervise, to monitor and coordinate and advise. The union belongs to you. This issues that when a union is facing a challenge, workers will ask, COSATU. Who's COSATU? There's no COSATU without affiliates. And there's no affiliates without members. So on the 7th of October, comrade, we must go out in all numbers to go and present our memorandum and demands for response. I was saying to comrade peers of COSATU that this march on the 7th must be the last one where we're going to march and present the memorandum. The next march, we are not presenting the memorandum. We are going to demand answers from the marches that we've been having in this province. The Section 77 certificate that we have means this march will be protected. We can still use it in 2025 or 2027 or 2029. Until all the issues that are contained on the application for Section 77 are resolved, then that certificate will cease to be relevant. So the next march after the 7 peers with your leadership must not be for one day. We are going to extend it to 2 to 3 days until we get our demand. And our result, our demand must be, the response must be positive. If the response is not positive, we are not going back to work. The peers of the party speaks about the agenda of the imperialist. This GNU, comrade, is about destroying COSATU. This GNU is about destroying COSATU. So we are saying, comrade, for us to make sure that we defend our rights, we must wake up. Let's stop blaming each other. We have a responsibility of making sure we defend our unions. We defend our rights. And condition of service is not only about wages, as I said earlier on. You have a responsibility to make sure that workers at their workplace, Occupational Health and Safety Act is applied properly. The issue about inequalities must come to an end. The President of the Republic of South Africa last year signed a Companies Act, Comrade COSATU, especially for those who are in the private sector. There's a clause in the Company Act says employers are forced to disclose their wage bill. They are forced to disclose their wage gap between the highest and the lowest. So the employers cannot come back now and tell you that we don't have money when you demand an increase. When by the end of the year, they goes out and give a CEO a bonus of 300 and something thousand bonus per annum. Like this Sibanye, this man called Sibanye. The CEO, he does nothing, but he gets a bonus of 300 million. When he was not able to give workers 1,000 rand increase per annum. The CEO of Pick and Pay, he got 258 million bonus when he's retrenching 11,000 members or workers, Sakau, at Pick and Pay. Sun International, the Western Sun International at Sun City, the workers, when they got tips, these managers, they were taking that tips for themselves. At the end of the year, they take the tips, they go to overseas. You remember the story about the Guptas? When I was still the provincial secretary of COSATU Northwest, we went there and we chased the Guptas away from Sun City after they practiced racial discrimination against workers. And we demanded the proof of the tips. That time we found that the workers, they made 348 million tips. The one that the workers, the management was using to go to overseas. We took the matter to CCMA, and the ruling to CCMA was that you pay workers what is due to them. Now, they had to go and find money. Comrade, there are processes that you can use and win the case. When a worker is dismissed, you don't end up the case then say, hey, you must fight for the workers. That's why workers, comrade, will love your union. But if you don't service them, workers will never love that unions. So come the 7th of October, we are all out. We must call President to discipline the Minister of Education. In fact, she must be fired. Because when we raise the issue of Bella, we raise it with the President. The President says, don't worry, Comrade Soli. No one is going to do anything to undermine my credibility. But that minister undermined the credibility of the President. When the President was going to sign the Bella, she did not go. She did what her political party was saying she must do. So why